Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Aquarius. If Aquarius is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And we have the 10 of Cups, and this is from the Mother Peace Tarot deck. Let's see what these tea leaves have to say. Also, this is a bonus reading, okay? And if you haven't subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next videos are coming out. Okay, so I want to look at you like this. We have oh my goodness, we have the peacock, but it is in a roosting position. Maybe roosting, but the tail's down, so maybe it is roosting. But you can see the head and the body and coming down. Now, if we turn it this way, we have an enthroned, it looks like an enthroned goddess or queen or whatever. And so I'm going to say this is Juno, who is the counterpart of Hera. And so a goddess of motherhood, of and being a central goddess, but of motherhood, childbirth, protection during childbirth, fertility, abundance, the ability to kind of create resources to keep a home, going, and not necessarily the financials, but the emotional resources, the physical resources, and yes, making use of those material things, okay? And of course, in this enthroned position, I always think of it, and the enthroned means to be seated in a throne. Okay, so we know these beautiful large chairs, these are reserved for rulers, emperor, empress, the high priestess, somebody who is elevated, right? And so with this goddess seated, I think of the seated position often as a place of ruling, of not only knowing, but also wisdom. Okay, the ability to make decisions, both, and this is the difference between like the emperor and the empress, is that the emperor creates the environment for life, right? Where the empress kind of creates that spark. She brings it in through her decision making, through intuition. The emperor is working in the materials and building the things and making the hard decisions, and if you could think like plowing the lands, getting the foundation set, building up the temple, where the goddess or the empress, she is the blooming flowers, right? She is the hearth. Excuse me. She is the thing that sparks the fire within the hearth, and makes sustenance from the foods that are brought in, and so on. So when we look at this, we're looking at a position of being really in an intuitive state, being very confident in kind of mastering all of the moving parts within your life, in your probably physical life, domestic life, work life. You're doing a good job at balancing all of these things. And we do talk about the mother, this archetype. Now, it doesn't mean that, you have to be a mother or a father or any kind of caretaker, really. But we all have these archetypes within us. And with the Ten of Cups energy, there is a sense of plentiful emotional waters. Okay, the creative waters, those waters that come in and wash away all of the things that the residue of the hurt, of the griefs, of the troubled times. Okay, and now that doesn't mean that they won't come back, right? But this is an absolution. This is a cleansing. And so I feel that you've worked very hard through the situations that have taken place, and you have been in kind of this, I think, really kind of gathering a lot of those strands of strength and of inspiration, of motivation, of the little spark of even exploration coming alive in you, and weaving them together. Okay, and creating kind of that shawl, right? That shawl that you wear, and it's a beautiful place to be, a beautiful posture, a beautiful position in your life. I feel that you fully rule your life without question. Now, next to we have a satyr. Okay, so this is like a half goat, half person, half man, woman. This is a wilderness spirit. It is not unlike Pan. Okay, this is kind of akin to that kind of bacchanalian wildness, that letting go of the inhibitions, and kind of dancing and ecstasy and writhing and passion and lust and beauty and being close to the earth, lost in the wilderness a bit, but not lost either, because this is where home is, right? Anybody else might think, oh, you're far out there, you're a little out there, right? But no, this is where I belong. This is where I feel at home. This is where the trees and the birds and the little critters speak to me, and I feel, through the things that you've been through, one might look at you and think, okay, you've become a little untethered. You've become kind of, maybe a little bit eccentric, or just you're not going to play the game anymore. You're tired of doing the thing that you were told you're supposed to do, and it still didn't work. It didn't work out in the way that, you had hoped. And so now I'm going to do what I want to do. I'm going to do what moves me. I'm going to live the way that, my heart desires. And I think with these two things together, that's a powerful couple, isn't it? I feel this being kind of a real renaissance for you. I feel this next year especially is going to be one of high divinity, and I could see you becoming kind of your own priestess, your own priest, even maybe teaching, or writing a book, or I don't know, starting a YouTube channel maybe. I don't know, but I feel like people have a lot to learn from you. I feel that people are drawn to you, even if it is one person who comes into your life and you relate on a deep spiritual level, and you walk, beside one another for a while. I feel like this really is a time of this kind of, a spiritual kin. Now, if that is, you know, fellowship with many or fellowship with one. It doesn't really matter, but I do feel like there is a bond that is coming. And I don't know that you've even met this person yet, or maybe in the beginnings of this dynamic. Okay, where did you go? Okay, so we have a 7-0 right here, 7-0, and then we have a 7-0 mirrored over here. So 70-70. And it reminded me of my grandfather. He never drank really, but I think I maybe saw him drink once in my life, maybe twice. And he always drank, he did those couple of times, but he told me when he was younger, he drank, this was his drink, the 7 and 7s. And I think that's what it's called, but yeah, I remember that. Whenever I see 2 7s, I think of that a little bit. Okay, let's see. Yeah. And it looks like a parakeet right here with the little head. So we have a little bird right here. We have the head. And then we do. And I talked about the peacock. I didn't really get into it. So we have Juno, right? Juno is her animal symbol is the peacock. Okay, and we know the peacock is beautiful, something to truly admire. They're also pretty aggressive. Have you ever been around peacocks? I remember somebody, like a friend of my sister's, or I don't remember who they were exactly, but they had like a little group of peacocks that lived in the backyard, and they were freaking mean. They were so mean. They would try to attack you if you went too far into the yard. But they're so beautiful. And symbolically, you know, they're very regal, and with all of the eyes, you know, that they're adorned with, very intelligent. Also, eyes to see, right? Very psychic, very much able to look deeply into things. And, you know, with Juno, I really feel like that is an archetype that definitely makes sense that it would emerge in an Aquarius reading. I feel like Juno maybe was an Aquarius. I don't know. But yes, so we do have that peacock energy. Look for the peacocks. Look around and see if you see, you know, the symbol of, or kind of the patterns, or if you even encounter real peacocks, peacocks revealing themselves to you. Now we also have the parakeet, which I always think of as such a loving little bird. They are just very sweet. Although I'm not very familiar with having birds as, you know, companions, but from what I've seen videos and things, they do seem quite sweet. And so I look at this and I think there's just a sense of an adoring, you have somebody who kind of adores you, I think. And maybe this is a companion, maybe this is somebody who has a little crush on you, but I can kind of see them being a little bit bashful and charming as well. I think there's a sense of kind of ease with that. It's not overwhelming. It's not like going over any lines or pushing boundaries or anything, but it is kind of a sweet thing. Okay, so now we have another 7 right there. Okay, maybe 7-0 even. So another 70. It's really repeating tonight here. Okay, and we're just gonna kind of so I have a snail taking it easy, continuing to take it a little slow. I think it's important. We have a crescent moon. We have these figures that are all bundled up. And then we have the empty chair. So I think that there's a sense of a necessity to kind of lead. Well, were we talking about this enthroned goddess or archetype, queen archetype? I feel like there is kind of a situation arising where you will be leaving the home. And I saw the little bundled up people and maybe kind of a trek. Right? And it might not be the most comfortable, but I think it will be necessary. I don't know exactly what it is, but we do have the moon. So I do think that this will be something, for some reason, I just imagine you having to travel at night. Maybe you've chosen to travel at night, maybe drive in the night or fly in the night or something like this. But you know, I don't feel like there's anxiety around this, but I do think that this is not a trip of leisure necessarily, but maybe going to visit somebody. And I think, you know, I think this will be coming up here in the next month or so. Okay. And now we have the Happier Me affirmation cards. I'm going to go ahead and move these little guys. I should say guys. We have an owl and a piece of petrified wood. My best friend. This is my best friend. This piece of wood. Okay. You can tell I need to go to bed pretty soon. I'm getting a little goofy. All right. I'm going to skip through your... Oh, there we go. It says... Creative energy surges through me and leads me to new and brilliant ideas. Yes. Lend some of that energy my way. We've all been given the gift of creativity and imagination. Focus on accepting that you are a limitless spiritual being and your imagination will flourish. Yes, yes, yes. Whenever I get this card on here, it always reminds me of on that movie I Heart Huckabees, and she says what's it, Naomi Campbell, I think is her name, or is it Naomi Watts? Naomi Watts, I think. I always mix up the names, but the actress, she says in one scene they're fighting, and she says, "You can't handle my infinite nature." And I'm like, oh, yes. I feel you, lady. I feel you. I feel you. I always think of that for some reason. It's a good line. And if you've never seen I Heart Huckabees, go and watch it. It's a great movie. It's really strange, really great. I watched it, I think I was like maybe in college when it came out. But it was like one of those movies that kind of maybe informed my, my interests in my earlier life, definitely. So anyways, I want to say thank you so much for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor and a pleasure to be able to bring these messages to you. And if you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel so much. If you haven't subscribed, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next videos are coming out. You can, it is free to subscribe. And if you'd like to leave a comment, please do. I read them all. They mean a lot to me. I know I say that in, most of my readings, but they really do. I like get a source of great strength from connecting with you all. I really do. Getting to know some of you has been such a blessing. So anyways, let's take this 10 of Cups energy and fill ourselves up and get through this next week. This one feels like a hard one, coming off of the end of all of the holidays and stuff, and being sick and getting, like, this is my first week going back to my full schedule of classes and school for the baby and all the work stuff and the house stuff, and I can do it. I got this. I got this. And so do you. All right. Aquarius, I love you. We'll talk in just a few days. Actually, I think it's a couple days from now. So thank you. Good night.